Yeah, yesterday a 16 unit day yesterday.
16 units. That's pretty good. Yeah. I think I was even on the picks that I mean, I just because I liked your picks. And I don't know
Yeah.
if you've noticed, I've started to put in the picks that I enjoy. Because before I want to double up because I don't want people to be like, oh, Sam has this as a 4 unit. Jake has also put this down. Let me like double it. But
Yeah.
it's just like I'm whatever I put on the Discord is what I use as my action track on action. So
Did anyone, if I don't know if anyone tailed the France play I put in earlier. They're up 1-0 right now. I need
did they
one more.
score? Oh
Yeah.
man. Was it
Why do you
right
have
after
Poland
halftime or was it before half?
before half?
Dang,
It
okay.
was, I think, like the
You
45th.
rode. Okay. Man, the teammates are fighting for the golden boot. You got Oliver and Mbappe.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Huh. All
Nice.
right. Should we get started? I'm gonna get
Yeah.
started on my NFL
So
pick.
before we start, so Sam killed it yesterday, but we always preach bankroll management. So we had some not happy customers, I would say, and I put that whole thing in the free chat that you got to decide what you want to do. Do you want to try and hit it big and get 5-10 units each play that we pick? Or do you want to practice bankroll management, use your 1-2% um, each unit that we use? And it's a long game. So yeah, I was down two units this past month. And that's unfortunate, but it's just like I said, anything else. You don't always make a profit every month and month out, even in your real job. Your car breaks down, your thermostat goes out, whatever. So there's going to be ups and downs, but if you tail and you follow, um, parlays will definitely get you in trouble. If you want to parlay, don't parlay all of them. That's almost a guaranteed loss. We may do 2 or 3 undefeated days in the whole year. So pick 2 or 3 that you like. And if you want to put a quarter unit on that, the parlay or whatever, um, that's fine. So, but you got to decide now if you want to use this as a potential supplemental income or you just want to use this as gambling and as fun money because that's ultimately up to you.
Wait, what happened? Who messaged you?
There was I'm not gonna say names, but there's just a couple people that were not too happy. Let's just say that. So
Did they message you?
yeah, and they messaged, and then that one time I went 0-7. That person he was messaged a couple
Oh, is
times.
that what you're talking about?
Yeah, and then I had another person message me individually. So there's 2 people that messaged me, and I said the exact same thing. So because I was down like 12 or 13 units at a time, and it is unfortunate that if you sign up when I'm not doing well, when these picks aren't hitting, that's gonna look pretty negative in your eyes. A guy that I follow 2 years ago, he was down like 15 units between
Yeah.
January and middle of February. In 6 weeks, he was down like 15 or 16 units, and he ended up 90 units overall for the year. Uh,
Yeah. Oh,
so
it's
it's
easy.
like, so if you joined in December, you win 90 units. If you joined in March, you're up 110 units. So
Yeah,
it's a long game. But
definitely.
I'll get off of my soapbox.
Yeah, all right.
um,
No, I know he
also
definitely.
congrats if you tailed the Wong teasers. They went 5-0 last week.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
That
that
was
was
crazy.
pretty sweet.
All right, moving to our NFL picks. The first one, and I'm starting off with a bang. The first one of the day. I'm locking in the Jets +3, and I'm locking it at a 5 unit play. That is my
Dang.
biggest play of the day. Jets. I've been saying it all year. I don't like the Vikings. I don't really like the Vikings. One thing that's been good though is, I mean, the market, uh, the betting market and the sports books have really undervalued them. Like they only you haven't seen a lot of Vikings big spread. Like I haven't seen the Vikings favored by more than like 6 points in forever. Okay, we got some more people now. Um, so the Vikings, I think, are frauds. If you look at their underlying metrics defensively, they rank 23rd in overall defense and 27th against the pass. Mike White played really well against the Bears last week. And although I think Mike White, I don't know if Mike White's a great quarterback yet, he can do it against bad defenses. He proved it against the Bears, and he's going to do it against a weak Vikings defense today. Offensively, for the Vikings, I don't think they're going to be able to do anything on the Jets. The Jets have a very good pressure rate. And if you look at the Vikings' 2 losses, being the Cowboys and the Eagles, both of them
I got you.
Got tons of pressure on the quarterback. So when Kirk Cousins is under pressure, it's not good for the Vikings offense. The Jets are ninth in pass rush success rate. And I think they're going to put some pressure on Kirk Cousins. Their secondary is going to hold up. They have a great run defense. And I really don't think the Vikings are going to get a lot of points. There's money coming in on the Jets as well. So a lot of the big money, I think there's like a 29% differential. And this is definitely my play of the day for the NFL. Give me the Jets +3. Let's go New York. Yeah, that's my pick.
I like this pick. Also, I'm staying away. The Vikings just got destroyed at home against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving. Got embarrassed. And they have been in really, really close games. So I think that's another, like, they have the most win. I don't know, because I picked them as my Super Bowl underdog at the beginning. I got a future on the Vikings. So
they're frauds. They're frauds, and they're getting.
Why is every team that I go for a fraud in your opinion?
Every single team.
But yeah, if you guys look at, I don't know why Mike White got benched last year. If you look at his stats when he came in last year, like, he still had really, really good numbers. Yes, he went 1-4, but like, he averaged throwing like 30 times, like 250, 300 yards. But Minnesota just has way too many weapons. Kirk Cousins has been a bit banged up. But yeah, the Jets defense is unbelievable. Sauce Gardner is probably going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year or be in the talk. I like the under on this. I'm not playing that.
Yeah.
What I'm going just because I think they're both going to try and establish a run game. But since TJ Hawkinson has been traveled, here's another tight end play. We'll see. Has been traded to the Vikings. He has 26 catches in 4 games. And
he's been really good.
Right. He's a good tight end. I mean, I've been big on him. I think I hit 3 units on him
he's a fraud. He's a fraud.
I mean, if you want to tell him, go ahead. I'll add my unit. But him to have 50 yards receiving is at +110. Sauce Gardner's gonna lock down.
Yes.
Jefferson. Then you have, I think Thielen's coming back. He's still a little bit banged up, but I think the reason I'm staying away from this is the Vikings just have so many weapons.
I do. Yeah, that is true. But I think
so. I'm going with I'm doing an all receiving line for Hawkinson at +50 yards. It's at +110, and then over 4.5 catches at -135. So if you want to boost that up, I think he easily gets 6 targets in this game. But I'm going with the unit. His anytime touchdown score is +220. If they get inside the red zone, Cousins definitely going to look at him. But I would say over 50 yards catching and over 4.5 yards, over 4.5 receptions. So I guess I have a 2-unit play on this, but it's 2 units on TJ Hawkinson. Yeah. So each of those are 1 unit on him.
Right. I mean, yeah, that's a good play. I think TJ Hawkinson's a decent play, but I don't know if I would bet guys against the Jets defense.
Also, I think the Vikings can lock up or be with some help. I think they can also get the division with this.
The Vikings they've already had this for a while. There's no division.
Right.
So. Moving on to the next batch, and this is another huge play I have, and I am favoring the Titans as an underdog +4.5 against the Eagles.
It's moved a lot. It's not. I don't think it's 4.5 anymore.
Not 4.5 anymore.
It is. Okay, yeah, it's still. You're right.
4.5.
It's 4.5.
So, I mean, ever since the Eagles lost Jordan Davis, 315 pounds on the D-line, the run defense has gotten much worse. Since they lost him in week 8, they're 28th in rush to DVOA. So I like Derrick Henry to have a really good game. If not, I think maybe the Eagles put him extra man in the box, maybe try to stack it, put some extra pressure on Henry. That's where Tannehill is at his best in play action, open field. That's where they can get some nice chunk plays. And I can see the Titans offense really going off. The Eagles have a pretty good defense, but they have let up a lot of points the past couple of weeks. They let up 33 to the Packers on a Sunday Night Football. So I definitely can see this Titans team getting going. Interesting statistic. The Eagles have only played 2 teams in the top 12 in defensive DVOA. One of those being the Cowboys, and the other one, I actually don't remember who the other one was, but the other one is now the Titans, who are top 12 in defensive DVOA. And interesting enough, first in rushing defense, while the Eagles are first in rushing offense. But the Eagles, when facing top 5 rushing defenses, are really not good. And they have their yards average drop immensely. And I think that's going to happen today. The Titans are far and away the best run defense in the league. And I think they're going to really make it difficult for the Eagles, as that's like kind of the heart and soul of the team. And they're going to really make the Eagles one-dimensional. I like this Titans plus 4.5 at a 4-unit play. I think a lot of things come together. Yeah, give me the Titans.
Nice. Yeah, I'm big on the Titans. I don't know why growing up, they were one of my favorite teams along with the Colts.
Because they're the
but
same.
yeah, maybe because I just saw them. I like the colors. I don't know. But I've always really followed them. And surprisingly, Henry has become a pass catcher.
Yeah.
They have been getting him in the passing game. I think that is kind of helped relieve Tannehill ever since he got in the injury. And the Jets are one of the worst defenses, or sorry, the Eagles are one of the worst defenses in allowing opposing running backs out of the backfield. So they're averaging 6 opposing running backs are averaging 6 catches for around 30 to 40 yards a game. So Derrick Henry's over-unders 2.5 at plus 140. So there's great value in there. I think they're going to try and open it up. And like you said, even if they do stack one of the box, the best way to, I think the Eagles blitz. I don't know a lot. I don't know the exact stats. But if they do blitz, I mean, they'll just start dumping screens to Derrick Henry. So over 2.5 at 142. I'm going to take that at a unit play, and then a half a unit.
Minus 142?
Plus 142.
Plus 142. Wow.
Yeah. So the last 3 games, he's been averaging 3.5 catch, or not 3.5. He's been averaging 2 catches and 3.5 looks his way. And then his yards are 14.5. He can get that on 1 catch. So I'm going with 1 unit play at plus 142 over 2.5 catches, and 1 unit at over 14.5 receiving yards for Derrick Henry.
All right. Yeah. I like that play.
And I was going to stay away from his catches, but when I saw his plus 142, it's like there's really not much. It's not like it's getting a minus 140 play.
So yeah, that's great value. Moving on, Jaguars, Lions. This game has the highest total of this week at 51. So a very high total, and rightfully so. I mean, both defense have been pretty bad this season. And the Jaguars are just getting worse and worse. But I am going to favor the Jaguars in this spot. They just beat the Ravens.
Ravens
Just beat the Ravens in a really stunning victory off a two-point conversion. Very gutsy call. But I actually like that. I kind of like that teams are going for 2-point conversions instead of wanting to send it to overtime. I like the Jaguars for a couple reasons here. The Jaguars haven't been, obviously they're a pretty bad defense. They're in 26th overall and 30th against the pass. So that definitely is discouraging. But what they are really good at is the pressure rate, ranking 7th. And that's where Jared Goff is really bad. Jared Goff facing pressure is I think the third worst quarterback efficiency in the league. So if they're able to get some pressure on Jared Goff, it really won't be great. The same thing goes for Trevor Lawrence, but the Lions aren't good at doing that, ranking 25th in pressure rate. So Lawrence with a clean pocket should be able to really light up a kind of weak Lions secondary. The one thing, the Lions do have probably more weapons than the Jaguars, with DeAndre Swift coming out of the backfield, Amon-Ra St. Brown. So they got their playmakers, but the Jaguars, I think, are a little better than the Lions are right now. They've had a lot of close wins that haven't gone their way. And I think on the road against the Lions, they pick up a big win. I got their money line only at a 2-unit play because it's a little bit iffy as their defense hasn't been great, but I'm still going to favor them against the Lions.
Um, Not sure if you know this, but guess who just got activated by the Lions?
Who?
Jameson Williams, their rookie run,
Yeah, I
their
know. I know
first
about
round.
that. Making his debut. I know.
So he's making his debut. That's at home. Detroit's going to be rocking. They're doing pretty well. What do they call him? ACDC, Dan Campbell. The coach is. I think they finally have bought in to his like gritty kind of gutsy
Yeah.
play. Um,
Oh, I forgot to mention also
but
there's a lot of sharp action on the Jaguars too. So just be aware that there's a
yeah,
ton of sharp action on the Jaguars.
I like the Jags in this. I'm not a Lawrence fan, but he's been playing really, really well as of late. I think that what it was like a minute 30, he went down and marched and scored the touchdown and then got the 2 point conversion. That might be the boost that he needs to kind of put him into that upper echelon of quarterbacks. You really need to get that first last 2 minute game winning drive under your belt.
I agree.
But because Williams, that's going to give a huge boost to the already very potent Detroit offense.
Mhm.
Um, I like the over, but 51 and a half is a lot of points.
Yeah,
So
that's what I was saying too.
I also like the quarterbacks over yards. But I'm staying away. There's just
I don't like Goff. I think Goff.
no,
Yeah, no,
because
because as I mentioned, he has the worst passer rating and the third worst quarterback efficiency when under pressure. So I think
right. But
Jaguars are good under getting pressure. I don't think Goff has a good game. That's the big reason I'm swinging more towards the Jaguars. Because Lawrence, I think, will have a clean pocket and will be able to do his thing. Goff won't and won't be able to.
right. And but the thing is I might be putting too much emphasis on Jameson coming back, but that's gonna take away another. I mean, they're not gonna be able to blitz as much. They're gonna have to respect him at least for the first quarter. Um, so that's another reason why that's just a whole nother weapon. And again, it might be a decoy, but decoys obviously can still bag you the big buck. So
Yeah, for
so
sure.
for if anyone's a hunter out there. But yeah, I'm again, like I said, I don't have many plays. I have those 2 unit player props. So I'm trying to pick and choose and be a little bit more methodical on my picks. So no plays on if okay, I guess a lean would be the over or the
Yeah,
um
lean.
Lawrence's over passing yards would be my leans.
I like those. I actually like those leans. Moving on, Commanders and Giants. And I did back in New York earlier. I'm not gonna back them here. Uh, the Commanders have seemed to get it done week after week with Taylor Heineke. They just keep doing it. The Commanders defense has come in clutch. And I think they can do it again this week. I mean, the Giants haven't really looked good. They're starting to stumble now, 2 straight losses to the Lions and the Cowboys, and they got blown out by the Lions too. Uh, the Commanders defense is very good. They rank third in running defense. So I don't think Saquon Barkley is going to have a good game. I think they're going to really put some pressure on Saquon and put some pressure on that running game, forcing Daniel Jones to be one-dimensional. Um, quick thing. France just scored a goal, up 2-0
Nice.
now. So the spread is being covered as we speak. Um, but I lost my train of thought.
You talk about Saquon.
Yeah, Saquon. So I think they're going to force Daniel Jones to be one-dimensional. And this offense, I mean, the Commanders rank 14th in passing defense. Um, yeah, exactly. I'm just looking at the chat. So I mean, I got guys agreeing with me. So I think we're ready today. But the Giants, the Commanders, 14th ranked passing defense, but for some reason they seem to get the job done over and over and over. And the Giants right now aren't able to get the job done. On top of that, I mean, the Commanders' offense is relatively weak, but the Giants' defense is even weaker. I would take this at a bigger play if I could count on the Washington offense to take advantage of it, but I'm not sure how well they will. But I think in the end, they will get it done. The spread may be a little big, especially because even 2.5 may be a little big. Haven't they had like 4 1-point wins or like 2 1-point wins
Yeah.
or something like that? So maybe not a great play, but I think this is a game the Commanders win and cover 2.5. Is there any reason for the line movement? Because I thought that was interesting. Weren't the Giants originally favored?
Yeah.
So why was there a line movement? Is there a
I
player out?
I say just money. I don't know.
That's interesting. So, I mean, a lot of line movement, but I'm still going to lock in the Commanders minus 2.5 on the road. Yeah, 2 unit play, though. Not a big play.
Right. So real quick before I forget, so if Sam has like a 4 or 5 unit play, if it's an underdog, he's obviously very confident on that team. So another way you could do it is put 3 units or 3.5 units on the spread. So who was it? +4.5. You have the
Titans.
Titans, right? So if you want, then sprinkle a little bit, half a unit or something on the money line to try and get the most value that you have. If they lose within the 1 to 4.5, then yeah, you lost maybe was it 0.2 units or something. So again, when we put the units, we're putting to win, not what you're betting. So if you put the money line on the Tennessee at half a unit, we're saying okay, win that half a unit, but you're risking a lot less for that. That helps your return on investment and kind of get your bankroll a little bit higher in that sense.
Also, yeah, Darius Slayton out. That
Oh,
could be a reason. Number one receiver.
gotcha.
Team going without the number receiver is never good. Also, guy who scored for France, Mbappe.
Dang it. I almost, when you said, do we want something? I was like, Mbappe's got, after I saw Giroud, they're going to be like, all right, put Mbappe as the next anytime goal scorer.
Yeah, he scored us in the
Pretty
70th.
much I mean, but when in soccer, it's like, it was like +110 or something at the beginning of the match. I'm like, that's insane. Like, it's, that's American football. um,
Yeah, he was. Even though he was plus, that was crazy. I saw
Yeah,
that.
I was like, I'm not gonna be
Yeah,
risking
I'm not gonna bet a
one
plus one.
unit at +110
That doesn't
for
make any
anytime
sense.
goal scorer.
Yeah.
I like the under this game. I
Commanders.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, the Commanders game. I think they're going to try and get Saquon a lot more touches. Um, I've last week it made me so mad. It's like you have a winning formula. The two people I had on the over rushes didn't get it because the coaches decided not to run the ball. No idea why. It was the Giants and the Falcons. So, but I think Gibson he's starting to come to the Commanders running back. So I think they're going to be oh sorry. I think they're going to be trying to establish a run game. Washington is number one in time of possession, so that they like long methodical drives. Yes, I I agree regarding the poor coaching. So, but again, I'm sitting at home, not making millions of dollars. So what do I know, right? Oh, the other one was the Colts. Of course, we got a 30-year-old play caller, and he gives Jonathan
Yeah.
Taylor 18,
Yeah.
15
Colts suck.
touches.
Steelers. It was always Steelers plus 3.5.
Leave me alone. Leave me.
Finally
My
won a
cousin.
Colts bet. Let's go. I was actually good. I was thinking about mentioning it and I forgot and now
Right.
I mentioned it. Let's
But
go.
but I think this is one of the lower scoring totals. It's 40.5. But again, I think they're going to Heineke really doesn't spread the field a lot. They don't really have that much downfield presence apart from, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on everyone's name. You got me
Who?
all flustered with
Steelers.
the dudes from Minneapolis.
Wait,
The
what team are we talking about right now?
Commanders. We're
Oh,
going back to the
McLaurin.
pick.
Terry
Yeah,
McLaurin.
McLaurin. Yeah, Scary Terry. He's from, actually, he grew up like 20 minutes from where I live. Um, so I'm really big on him. Obviously, I'm Indiana diehard through and through, but I like the under on this, and that's also part of one of the Wong teasers. So Giants are +2.5 underdogs, right? At home.
Hmm.
So you tease them to 6, so you'll tease them to +8.5. So that's part of I'll just go ahead and go with the other Wong teaser. Falcons are +1 at home. You tease them to +7, 7.5. And if you do that, you get -145 odds. Again, the reason why the odds are so poor, they should be around 120, 130, but sports books understand and they're not that this is a very profitable strategy. So
Yeah.
again, the Wonkies went 5-0. There are two close ones. Um, the Jets should be, but they're +3. So if it was +2.5, you could try and do the Jets, and then the Ravens at -9.5. But that total doesn't meet the criteria. Or sorry, the Jags. The Jags also, but the total in the Jags game doesn't meet the criteria. So there are within a half a point two other ones, but the wonkies I'm going with is Falcons +8 and the Giants +8.5. For the Giants game and Commanders game, I got the under of 40.5. That one unit.
That's good. Moving on. Deshaun Watson making his return. 12-week suspension, a bit questionable. Probably should be banned from the NFL, but he's still here. I'm actually gonna fade him in the first half. Uh, yeah, I'm gonna fade him in the first half. In my opinion, I mean Deshaun Watson, we saw him in the preseason. He looked a little bit rusty. And I think he's going to be rusty coming out of the gate. I don't think people understand. Everyone's like, oh, he's not going to forget how to throw a football. I mean, yeah, it's not just throwing a football.
Right.
I think he'll get it going, but that's why I'm going to look at the first half line. The Browns defense has been really bad, and they've given up a lot of points all over the floor. They're in 30th overall, 32nd against the run, and 29th against the pass. I do not like at all. I don't like the Browns defense. I don't trust them against any offense. The Texans offense hasn't been great, but at least Kyle Allen takes some chances and will also open up some room for Brandon Cooks and Nico Collins. They almost also made a backdoor cover if it wasn't for two
that was insane
and things. And that also messed up our over too. So completely Texans, I'm definitely not a fan of them right now, but I'm still going to take them to cover in the first half. Obviously, the Browns will be able to have their presence on the ground with Nick Chubb, but I don't know. This is a feeling kind of pick. I'm definitely not taking this at a big play, but I'm expecting Deshaun Watson to be a bit rusty. I like the Texans to cover 4.5 in the first half.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. So you're not going to be on Browns running game. Thought you said that if you're going to take the running back and all against the Texans.
Yeah, no, I know that's definitely okay. Yeah,
It's
that
nine.
is
He's at
all
98.
Chubb.
He's at 98. Over under is 98. Eight.
That's not that big of an over under.
I know, especially against the Texans, and like you said, practice is very different. Practice stamina is very different than game stamina. Practice you cannot replicate game, and that's a huge. You can see that happen at the beginning of the year. Like Aaron Rodgers didn't do preseason. All these guys that didn't do preseason, they were very very sluggish the first 2 games of the year. And so that's the argument of keeping 4 preseason games is just because it's super hard. You can't replicate the speed of the game. And yes, even if you get in a week and the adrenaline and all of that, you can't replicate the game time feeling that you get in front of 50,000 fans. I don't have any plays on this, but I agree. Watson probably shouldn't be in the NFL. So Chubb, yes, 98 yards. I think was what his over under was. But I am staying away from this game. And Abe, so we only do on the morning lives, we only do the 1:00 games.
Yeah.
So we can talk about the 49ers and Dolphins in the chat. Your VIP, so we can talk about
Yeah. So you'll see the pick anyways. You'll see what we both have for that game. We just won't probably give the pick on here. But yeah, moving on. Packers and Bears got a little divisional game. Also, wait, do you have any plays on the Broncos Ravens game? Because I don't. So if we can just get by that game. But.
Yeah, no. Oh yeah. Jackson 200 yards. I mean, I think Jackson, he just got embarrassed. It's kind of I want to say a must-win game. Like for the playoff hopes, it's really not a must-win game, but for their moral, and morale, I guess. It definitely is a must win. They're 7-4. If they lose back to back games to the Dolphins and then they come back and lose to the Broncos at home, you could probably write off their
Oh,
season.
you mean the Jaguars?
Yeah, Jaguars, sorry. Um, two terrible teams. So I think Jackson's gonna come out firing. Denver's defense is good. They're the only reason that they have won 3 games, and
Yeah.
that they should probably be 8-3 right now if they had a good quarterback. Um, Russell
Yeah.
Wilson just had a birthday. Only half of the team showed up, is
Really?
what I heard last week. So obviously the team is in huge disarray. I like and Lamar Jackson over 200 yards throwing at +100. I want to put that as a 2-unit play.
Yeah. My lean is I have a lean in this game, which is I don't even know what the line is, but Jackson over rush yards. That's something they could exploit, especially the Broncos passing defense is very good. Since they traded away Bradley Chubb, the Broncos run defense hasn't been very good. So I think that's something to look at Jackson's rush yards over. But
Right.
moving on, Packers divisional game. Packers versus Bears, and I'm gonna roll with the Packers here. They've owned the Bears for a while now. Justin Fields and Aaron Rodgers are both playing this game. They've both are now active. But Fields is missing his favorite receiver in Darnell Mooney. That will definitely affect the passing attack as Claypool will assist him a bit. But Mooney was the guy who was really putting the weapons on his back through most of the season, and now he's been placed on injured reserve. Justin Fields, obviously he's super dynamic and explosive. He is one of the best at running the ball in the league, probably the best running quarterback in the league right now, in terms of statistics. He broke the rushing yards record in a single game, and the Packers' run defense isn't very good. So maybe a Justin Fields rush yard over is a lean for me, just because I don't really take player props too much. But the Bears defense is horrible. They let up points to a lot of different teams, and they're going to let up a lot to the Packers today. The Packers ranked 16th in passing DVOA. They would be better if it wasn't for a lot of the turnovers they have. Rodgers is throwing a weird amount of picks this season, which is very unlike him. But I still think he'll be able to get it done against the weak Bears passing defense. The Packers are also 6th in rushing DVOA offensively, so I'm expecting them to be able to run the ball and really just succeed on offense in general. Defensively as well, the Packers are good against the pass, just above average, but they are pretty bad against the run, as I mentioned before. In general, though, I'm leaning to the Packers. Again, no Darnell Mooney for the Bears. And the Packers always find a way to beat the Bears. Like, let's just be honest.
Exactly.
The Bears never win. I'm going to take the Packers -4 in this divisional game. Packers -4, 2 units. Let's go.
I like that. Aaron Rodgers backs up against the wall. I don't know if you saw the Pat McAfee show. Obviously, it has Aaron Rodgers Tuesdays,
Yeah.
and McAfee's like, so what happens if they want to sit you out? And he said he's open for it. So if the Green Bay kind of gets out of the playoff contention, I don't see why they would continue playing Aaron Rodgers and not start Jordan Love. So Aaron Rodgers is going to come out swinging. Famous quote: I own the Bears, or I own you guys. So I like the Packers on this. His ribs are kind of concerning. He's getting hit quite a bit. So that's definitely concerning. Jordan Love came in, and actually what's kind of crazy is he had Russell Wilson was QB 33. Jordan Love had a better QBR, had more fantasy points than Russell Wilson less, and he only played half a game. So definitely I like the Packers, but I also like David Montgomery over 16.5 rushing yards. So
Yes.
I think I'm gonna tail your Packers pick, and I'm also going to put just because Fields, if he gets hurt, they're gonna have to rely on, or if he can't go, hopefully the Packers can get pressure on him. If they knock him out, then they're just gonna have to rely on David Montgomery. They might try to keep the ball out of Aaron Rodgers' hands. So I like Montgomery over 16.5 rushing yards in the Packers minus
Oh,
4.
and by the way, Mbappe second goal of the game.
Three zero.
Yeah, yep.
Nice.
Yeah, so I hope you guys tailed my morning play. I mean, nice little preview
That's
winner.
some money to be
Yeah, to start the morning. I mean, that's a big play. Kylian Mbappe is man. That yeah, he is good. He is. You know, he's the most. I didn't even know he has the most goals this season. So I think that's pretty crazy.
right. And
Um,
he's also, that proves that he's still a great player, because obviously at PSG he's not happy at Paris Saint-Germain. He's complaining that the coaches don't give him the, he basically is the LeBron of PSG. And people aren't liking that, but he's like, if you put the people around me that I need and allow me to play how I play at France, I will easily be the best person in the world. And he's showing that right now.
yeah.
He loves playing in France. He loves playing with his national team.
I mean, they can honestly
So
repeat. I won't be surprised if they can make a shot at it.
I still have Messi in Argentina.
I
Only
think I think Portugal could win it too.
only trophy Messi doesn't have. It's his final run.
Yeah, that is true.
There's he's
Sentimentally, I think a lot of people
and
want it.
the loss against Saudi Arabia, I think, was the best thing that could have happened to him.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Moving on though, final play of the 1 o'clock slate and final play of our thing for me at least. Maybe Jacob has some more. Um, this will be. I'm gonna take the Steelers -1. And to me, a lot of people are picking the Falcons. But I'm actually really liking the Steelers in this spot. I think the Steelers, the run game is now getting going. Najee Harris had a very disappointing first half of the season, but he's starting to get it going a little bit now. And the run game is starting to become better, which will take a little bit of pressure off of Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett should be able to throw well, and the Steelers offense should do well in general against the Falcons defense that ranks 30th in DVOA. So really not a good team in general, the Falcons. They can't defend the run. They can't defend the pass, especially AJ Terrell, Casey Hayward still on IR. So I like the Steelers to have some offense here. On top of that, the big strength the Falcons had all season was their offense and their kind of their play action and the run game. But they have the right tackle injured. The run game has become worse, and Mariota has become less and less competent as the weeks go by. I think the Steelers defense, now they got TJ Watt back. Their run defense has improved. Their pass defense has improved. TJ Watt has the biggest effect on a defense that a single player has ever had. Like I can't remember.
yeah,
It's pretty crazy. And the Steelers are going to, I think the Steelers are going to put clamps on the Falcons, and I think they win this game and cover. Give me the Steelers -1 at a 3-unit play.
yeah, that's the other coach that I'm not happy with. They've been running all over Cordarrelle Patterson.
Yeah.
And since he came back from injury, he's been running really well. Algier has been running really well, and then they just decided to stop running last game. No idea why. Marcus Mariota had a really good first half of the season, but he's definitely tailing off. Maybe that is because of the line injuries. Steelers just came off of a big win against my Colts at Lucas Oil.
Plus 3.5.
I don't, yeah, you can only imagine how I was that Monday evening. My cousin went to the game. I almost went, but I was just like, nah, really don't want to be disappointed. Matt Ryan decided to slide a yard short. They decided not to call a timeout. Steelers should have lost, but Colts are
and they covered the spread too.
And they covered the Colts. The Colts are tanking. They're trying to get they're trying to I mean, that's what the Colts definitely are tanking. They're trying to get quarterback. We're gonna have Sean Payton as our head coach next year. But anyways, back to the Steelers and Falcons. I don't know. Steelers haven't won back-to-back games all year, which is kind of crazy to think. And
I think they're the best they are this season, though.
But they're still in the playoff race. This is insane. Like, they're 4-7, but they still can make the playoffs. Which is,
I mean, what's their schedule? I don't know. I don't want to like get too much into it and like take time, but
Right.
Their schedule, depending on how
Let me
hard it is,
bring
they have a
them up.
pretty tough division, but yeah, they can still make it. I think they're still a very solid team.
And that's what I mean. This extra game this year. I mean, you're seeing these teams that are
Yeah.
below 500. Usually by this time you're out, but that extra game is. So
Yeah.
they have Falcons, Ravens, Panthers, Raiders, Ravens, Browns. So
That's some.
not
They
too
still got
terrible,
two huge matchups though.
right?
Maybe
But
this.
yeah, I think the Steelers could win, but I don't have any plays on this game.
All
Oh,
right.
actually, the Falcons +8, that part of the Wong teaser. So the
That's how that
Wong,
works.
so yeah, so the Falcons
I didn't know you
are
bet like if that's like a pick 'em basically. I didn't know you can bet that up that much.
yeah, so the
Except for
Wong
20.
teaser, you basically you tease two teams 6 points. So the Falcons are 1 point underdogs at home. Um, right? They're at home. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're 1 point underdogs at home. So you tease them 6 points. So you'll tease them to +7 or +7.5. And then the Giants are 2.5 underdogs at home. So you tease them 6 points to +8.5. If you want to get better odds, so this is at one -145. If you want to get better odds, you can tease the Giants to +7.5. But make sure, like I mentioned last week on the live, if you weren't here, I explained everything about Wong teasers at the beginning, WONG. If you want to look it up. So you got to make sure you get over that hook. So 6.5, 7, that's a hook. 2.5, 3, that's a hook. So obviously scores are 3 and 7 points, or I guess 6 for plus the extra point. But yeah, so the Falcons meet that criteria. The Jets are half a point away. The Ravens are half a point away. So if you want to try them, but the Falcons tease the +7, the Giants tease the +7.5. You can get -135 to -145 odds. And that's a 1 unit play for me, just because the Giants are either going they might get beat by 20. So um
I
yeah,
mean,
like I said last week, these went 5-0. The week before they went 4-1. So that's why I was like, I gotta talk about it, just because they have been hitting. But the over under has to be under 49. So if you think about it, if it's a projected as a low scoring game, and it's gonna they're expecting the probability of it being a close game or within 7 points is pretty high.
I like it.
So
All right, I'll do a quick recap of my plays. I'll also post all the 1 o'clock plays in the free chat for anyone on there. Let's do a recap. Jets +3, my biggest play of the day. Vikings will get exposed. Be ready. Titans +4.5. The Eagles are 9-1, but Vikings, great run defense, great run game. I think they'll control this one. Jaguars money line. Lawrence has a clean pocket. Goff doesn't. Commanders -2.5. They seem to get it done. Run defense third best. The Giants can't get it done right now. Texans first half +4.5. We'll see if Watson can shake off the rust. I don't think he will be able to. Texans are very scrappy. I like them to cover 4.5 first half. Packers -4. They own the Bears. No Darnell Mooney. I think the Packers offense will have a field day. Poland scored at the end, but France luckily still covered.
oh, nice.
So we are good. And then finally, Steelers -1. Defense is much better. They got a run game now, and I think they're going to beat a declining team in the Atlanta Falcons. Those are my picks for the day. Jacob, if you want to do a quick recap.
Yeah. So just because I already have 2 units on this game, that's not gonna be an official pick, but I'm fading your Jets plus
Really?
plus
Yeah.
2 pick. We're gonna bring back the rivalry. I have
Okay.
Minnesota. I have
So is
Minnesota.
it official pick? Where did this official?
No, because I already have 2 units. I don't want to put 3 units on this game, so I can't.
On. Put like a half unit.
All right, half a unit.
Yeah, there we go.
I'll go
Half a
half. Can I do the money line?
Yeah, take the money line. Take the money line.
So all right, so I'll do actually no, because that's to win. So I'll do a half unit at actually let's do a half unit that Minnesota is gonna win by 7 or more. So a half unit at Minnesota -6.5.
Oh my god, I'm gonna smoke on your
Touchdown. So All right, so official, the rivalry's back. I have Minnesota as a Super Bowl future pick. I have them to have the most wins this year, so got to keep
Yep.
that alive. Or yeah, in the regular season with the most wins. So hopefully here come in a few weeks, I'll be getting a pretty nice little paycheck into my bankroll. But my official picks are Hawkinson, um, over 50 yards at 1 unit. That's plus 110. Over 4.5 catches at minus 135 for a unit. Plus 220 anytime touchdown score. That's got some pretty good value. I'm not gonna again, I don't like touchdown picks. So then we go to the Ravens. We have Lamar Jackson over 200 yards
Yep.
throwing at two units. Tennessee Eagles, Henry over 2.5 catches at plus 142, over 14.5 yards receiving at minus 105. The Wong teaser. I hate that how that's his last name because I always think it's wrong. So it's like,
Wait,
well, the guy's
yeah.
name's Wong, the guy that came up with this.
Yeah.
The Falcons tease to +7, and the Giants tease to plus. Officially, it's to tease to +9.5, or sorry, to +8.5, and that's at minus 145. Again, if you want to bring that Giants down to +7.5, you can get that minus 130. Washington, the Commanders, and the New York Giants under 40.5, and David Montgomery over 16.5 attempts for the Bears.
All right. Any
So
questions,
the
comments,
Jets, I do
concerns, fades,
every
tails?
literally everybody else that I'm gonna be a hero or a zero because everywhere else has the Jets. My brother texted me as soon as the line came out, said go
Yep.
get Jets at +3 right now. The guy that I was just talking about that
Other smart man.
had 90 units overall for last year. I think he's averaging like 75 units for the year for the past 3 or 4 years. He had the Jets. Another guy, a Canadian professor that I follow, has the Jets, but the Vikings just got too many offense. They're putting too much pressure on Sauce Gardner. He doesn't have the sauce today. He's gonna fold. He's gonna fold. Show some rookie relapses.
Oh, Vikings are going to get exposed as the frauds they are. And yeah, guys, you're going to see. You're going to see. Everyone's going to see. Everyone's going to see.
Oh,
Everyone's
Colts and the Cowboys tonight. Let's go Colts.
Cowboys minus 30 and a half. Lean for the
Also,
day.
so are there any questions from y'all? Real
Yeah.
quick, we'll
Questions?
take some questions in the chat. Um, I muted a lot of people, so there we go. I allowed you. If you guys have any questions, you can unmute yourself. Appreciate all of the chats. And yeah, Abe, we'll put. I haven't looked at that game yet, so most of my research has been on these 1 o'clocks for today. So I'll see if I can get any plays on that. I don't know if Sam has any.
Who you guys have for the Ravens and then Denver? I missed that conversation.
I picked Jackson over 200 yards throwing.
Okay.
So
I didn't have anything. I like didn't really like. I think there's a lot of contradicting things. Game is a little weird to me. I'm not taking it.
And aren't the Ravens like crazy favorites? What's
Yeah, I was
I was leaning Broncos, and then I decided against it.
I was gonna pick Jackson anytime scorer touchdown. Lamar Jackson probably.
Yeah,
Risky,
Jackson. Any running quarterback. Also another good bet. That some DraftKings FanDuels have is the shortest. I don't know if I haven't seen it for a while, but a lot of times you can find a play at the shortest touchdown, and a lot of times it'll be like under 3 yards. It's like over under 3 yards, and so the under, obviously a lot of pass interference and stuff getting called in the end zone. So those are also some good potential picks to look up. But
I want to say good luck to everybody.
awesome, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a good.
Feeling good. I'm
We're
we're on
looking forward
fire
to
right
the
now.
Jets
So
doing it.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
headed.
yes.
I'm headed to
Keep the
Kentucky.
picture.
I'm headed to Kentucky this week, so I won't be able to sports bet the next few
oh yeah, I
days.
Wow,
forgot you
that's
take it over.
bad.
Let me
Yeah,
But
take.
sure enough, you put your bets in for you. You know you got you.
right, yeah. Usually, if I have something like it's also nice to kind of take a step back and take a step away.
That's
I've been putting a lot of bets, but if there's like a lock or something, I'll have my brother put it in for me.
Sure.
But yeah,
All right.
awesome. Well, you all
Thank you
enjoy
for
your
joining. I'll post
Sunday.
it in the chat.
And if you aren't in VIP and you didn't get these picks, message us. We'll give you these picks. And then everything else will be posted in the VIP chat.
All right. See you guys.
Thank you, fellas. Blessings.
Sure.